Hi everybody, hang out with me. And these are my mom anytime you want.
Hi. The ironic thing about this is we are 700 feet from each other, but still recording. Yeah, far away. We tried to record together and we thought we had it figured out, and it was such a fun episode, and we both left the episode feeling like so good about it, so excited. And then Emily called me Sunday afternoon, and when I picked up the phone, I thought something terrible had happened. I won't be morbid or use any dark humor, but I was concerned. I was mentally preparing for whatever was coming my way. And she's like, the podcast audio didn't record. And I could have cared less because I care, because then Emily's frantically saying, what should we do? What should we do? And she is really the mastermind behind all of this. And we had a good chat. We laughed, and that is just a memory for us. And then one day we'll probably bring back all those topics we talked about in another way, and it will be great. But we just decided to stick to what we know for now until we figure out how to do it together. Yeah, we're going to figure it out together, and we're going to figure it out soon so that we can have all of the sisters, at least all of the US sisters, in the same room. So we're going to figure it out, but because of nap schedules and technical difficulties, this works for now. Well, do you want to catch up really quick before we get into this week's topic? Sure, let's catch up. Last night I made a new sheet pan dinner using all Trader Joe's products because we went to Trader Joe's last week, and I was a little nervous about it, but I went for it and it was delicious. So I found it on TikTok. They have kind of like an apple chicken sausage, but it uses their unexpected white cheddar. If you've ever had that on
I love the unexpected white cheddar.
Good. So it has that in the chicken sausage, and then you get some broccoli, or I used broccolini. I don't even know what that was, but it was the same price as broccoli. I know, and it was a little more crispy.
It tastes better.
Yeah, it's like a mix between broccoli and asparagus, if you're into that.
Yes.
So
if a broccolini is on a menu anywhere, I'm ordering it.
That's good to know. And then some bell peppers, the sausage, and then you take the gnocchi, the frozen gnocchi. It's the sage and brown butter gnocchi, and you put that on the pan, and then you roast it for 25 minutes, and it was really good. And then you douse it in Parmesan cheese. I don't know if it's healthy. I don't know if it's bad for you. I know Trader Joe's frozen food is controversial at times, but I thought it was great, and I felt full, and it was cozy. So I don't know.
That sounds amazing.
It was really good.
I picked up Cafe Rio.
That sounds amazing too, though. So
the Cafe Rio by me has a drive-through, and that is dangerous and life-saving because it's just the best. Are you excited to be by a Cafe Rio?
Yeah.
Now that you live in
Yeah.
I shouldn't say live in Utah. You're visiting Utah.
I'm visiting. I don't even know where to say. I won't speak too much on this, but it brings up the point that I don't know where I'm from. Last week I was running errands for my mom, because that's what I do with my free time. I joked to my mom that I'm her personal assistant. I fold her laundry.
She needs one.
I run her errands, and it's fun. And she watches when Ivory naps. She'll watch her, and works. Good little gig we have. But I ran to Costco for my mom, and I saw an incident that I will not elaborate on, but basically, I felt inclined to call the police for the safety of the person involved. And so I called the police, and I was so nervous about it, but they came. And then as I was leaving, once I saw they arrived to the situation, they called me back. And they're like, hey, do you mind coming and being a witness? And in my head, I'm like, no. But I felt like I had the courage to call them. I can have the courage to go be the right of witness statement. So I went back, and the officer was so nice. He's like, hey, park behind this truck so you feel comfortable. I'll meet you and whatever. They gave me the clipboard to write out what I had saw. And they're like, okay, put your address. And I'm like, what if I don't know my address? And they kind of look at me like, lady, you don't know.
Who is this lady?
Yeah, maybe we should be checking you out. But I explained, and I'm like, well, I live in Oklahoma, but we're not living in Oklahoma. We're here in Utah. And basically I told them things they didn't need to know about me. And then he's like, how about you just write your mom's address? I'm like, that's a great idea. So that's what I did. But yeah,
I don't know what to say. I'm just a little traveler. I'm just a little.
For now, you are in the vicinity of a Cafe
and
Rio
to get
and
back,
a Costa Vida.
I do love Cafe Rio. And from where I'm from, where we don't have many options of food in my actual city I live in, I would die for a Cafe Rio every day of my life. But I do have to say one thing Utah is missing that I get quite often when I go down to Oklahoma City, which is an hour and a half away from where I live, is a kava. How Utah does not have a kava is mind-blowing to me. Same with like a Torchy's taco. I know they just got Flower Child, correct? Is that Flower
we
Girl?
do have
Flower
Child. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I heard Utah just got that. But Oklahoma City, for being in the middle of nowhere, has things that I cannot believe the Wasatch Front has not figured out how to like bring it to here. I
have to admit,
Yeah.
I have looked up to see if Kava franchises,
and
they do not franchise, or else there would have been one in Salt Lake City. Mark my words.
Emily would have been the manager of Kava. It's good. If you haven't been to Kava, next time you're somewhere where there's a Kava, it's like Cafe Rio but Mediterranean food. Like the same idea, like build your own, and it's really good. It's yummy.
What did you do after your cozy dinner?
I put my daughter down for bed, and then I scrapbooked for the first time in a while. I know.
You're our little crafty queen.
I am a crafty queen, which is ironic because I've not always been that way. But I, in the past year, have been scrapbooking quite a bit. And now as Ivory's entering, like she's 9 months at the end of February, which is crazy. I'm like, do I just do a 1-year scrapbook and then just give myself a break? But what I think I've decided to do, because I was thinking about it last night, because like I did her 2-month page yesterday and it was the saddest 2-month page ever. I just like scrambled through the pictures I had already printed off that I didn't know if I needed. She's gonna.
You had a rough. That first month or two was a little rough.
Some moms set up their kid and like pose them in cute outfits, and it's just not who I am. And I've honestly never been like that. Like this isn't a dig or to say this is wrong, but like Emily and many of my friends do the cute like 1-month picture with like a 1 or like the little circle wooden thing, and then it's 2 months and it is adorable, and it is probably going to be so special to their child. My daughter doesn't.
I do not think Nellie will.
No, but it might be really like they'll be like, that was so sweet. My mom did that. My daughter won't get that, and you know what? That's okay.
It's totally okay. And if anything, I think it was more a coping mechanism for me than something.
And some people are just good at like that makes them really excited. For me, I'm just not pulling that off. I'm just not. It's a little bit of procrastination, a little bit of laziness, and mostly I don't care. And that is just the way it goes. But anyways, so I decided, because as one day more kids come along and I want to make sure I keep up scrapbooking, I've just decided starting in 2026. So even when Ivory hasn't even reached a year, I'm just going to scrapbook 2 pages for every month, and I'll just be the January page, the Feb, because I really do love it, and I can commit to just like a Christmas scrapbook. But there is so much, like there's only so much cute Christmas stuff I want to buy, and then I want the April scrapbooking paper and the Valentine's scrapbooking paper. So I think I've just committed to myself. I'm just gonna do each month. And I'm just going to see how long I can do that and just make it fun. It's like a family scrapbook. It's not just for Ivory. That's what I was just going
to say. You can make it a family scrapbook. So then if you have something else that month that's not related to Ivory per se, but Easton had a big flight, then you could put.
Yeah, and it'll just kind of be like collagey, and scrapbooking has been really fun. And I know, and then I'll stop talking about it, but I know you can do it digitally. I know you can just do a photo album. Like, I don't really know if my kids are going to love that I like put out their circle little face and put party hat on it when they're 20 and they just want to take a picture of the actual picture instead of like this lefty little thing I've made.
But it's fun for you. It's a way for you to cope.
It has made the biggest difference in my life. I know that sounds stupid, but it's really given me a creative outlet that I can actually finish. So it's, instead of a big embroidery
knitting
project,
knitting
a giant blanket, a quilt, which are things I still want to learn and do. I cranked out 1 page last night
and I put it in my scrapbook and I thought, oh, I accomplished it. And so it's like a creative outlet. I actually feel like I'm getting something done, and it is kind of fun. You get to buy all the cutesy paper. I have a Cricut now, so I'm just like cricketing my little heart out, and it's really quite fun.
Well, and it probably helps you romanticize life a little bit. That idea of it felt like an ordinary January, but then when you make it all cute, you're like, wow.
Totally. And one more thing. Sometimes you take pictures and then you look at them and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to post that on Instagram, which is the wrong thing to think. I get that. But it's just kind of the way my brain has been wired, which is a bad way to wire it. So I should go to therapy and work on that. But I now think I just take all the pictures I want, no matter if I've got a double chin in them, no matter if I think my outfit matches, no matter if there's a weirdo standing in the background at a park that we're like, not a weirdo, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter what's in the background. My friends and who I have a group of friends back in Oklahoma that I would scrapbook a lot with. We just say, do it for the scrapbook. We just take pictures, not for anyone else, but our scrapbook. So it is a fun way, but that's enough of
really fun.
Yeah.
I'm honestly jealous because I have done nothing. And now Nellie's 4 and I haven't done a photo album. I haven't done a family yearbook. I haven't done anything digital.
You've got time. You got time.
Yeah, but now I'm to the point where I'm so overwhelmed. On Sunday, Andrew and I got in I won't say fight, a discussion, a loud discussion at Mom's house about iCloud storage because I am out of 2 terabytes. And he's like, you are not paying for more than 2 terabytes a month. But I don't know what to do because I am just so far down the rabbit hole. I don't know how to clean it out. And so I'm trying to figure out systems. I need to start organizing first digitally so that I can then maybe make something in the future. But maybe I should start scrapbooking because I'm on my phone all day creating content. The last thing I want to do is create a digital scrapbook because that's kind of what I've been doing for 8 hours that day.
Yeah, that's like your job.
Not that I'm posting on Instagram for 8 hours every day. But anyway, so actually that is kind of a bit of my catching up as I'm trying to get better at my system of organizing my digital clutter. So what I do is I just type in the date, and I'm not perfect at this, but if I just sit down for a few hours, that's too overwhelming. So if I type in the date of the current date at the beginning of the day, because I don't want to see any pictures from today. I don't want to make decisions about something I just took a picture of because that feels like I'm still attached to the picture. But if I look at the day, February 17th, and see what we were doing in 2018 and 19 on that day, I can then look at those videos and delete what I don't need, delete duplicates, clean it up. And Nellie, now that she's getting old enough, she loves to do it with me. So it's been
cute.
Yeah. It's been good.
Can you hear that my window's open?
No. Is it hot down there? It's snowing outside.
Like a cool breeze.
The other thing that has been consuming my mind is just the pop culture. And I don't even know if you call it pop culture at this point, the news cycle of it all, but we don't have to get into that on this podcast. But I can go in some
the pop
deep,
culture
dark,
or like the dark news that's going on. Like
more like the dark news.
Because like pop culture is Tate McRae's boyfriend on the U.S. hockey team. You're talking about the creepy, deep, ugly stuff of the world.
Yeah, I usually stay away from it, but I can't let this one go, and nor do I think we should let it go. And maybe that's why I'm like, we can't stop talking about this, but it keeps getting covered up, and poor Nancy Guthrie, that has captivated me, so I'm trying to have some self-control on my media consumption, and we've been replacing that with the Olympics, which we're going to get into. That was the perfect segue, but there's one other thing we have to catch up on.
Okay.
I did something a little bit crazy this morning. Did you see that Lizzie sent us a DM on Instagram?
No, I didn't see it.
Well, I was just getting ready for the podcast about 15 minutes ago. Hence why I'm not fully ready, because I see this DM from her about a Pilates studio opening up near us, and they need instructors, and they're doing a 3-day.
I'm sorry, everyone. You did not sign up to be the Pilates instructor.
Well, I have to be selected to go to the 3-day intensive training, and then they'll select instructors from there.
But they'll like certify you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
sorry, I thought you were just like, hey.
No,
well,
that's basically, I mean, kind of. So I might need some help from 9 to 4 for 3 days straight. They asked if I'd ever taught fitness classes before. I said no, but I've attended a lot.
a lot of them. I bet you're
And the
not
only
the first
reason
person
Lizzie-
that said that.
The only reason I'm sure Lizzie sent it to me is because she wants a discounted membership.
She wants free Pilates. I'll watch Nellie. I'm everyone's personal assistant, actually. My mom's, Emily's built-in nanny. No, I do have to give Emily's husband, Andrew, a shout out because we do poke fun at Andrew and he's the best. But where I'm living, we have this new truck. We didn't tell you because it was in the other podcast. But we bought this new truck and it's a big truck. And it's hard for me to maneuver sometimes. And where I park at the place we're staying is a little tight and tricky and a lot of left and right turns. And I got a backup camera, but then you got to watch the front of your car. It's just a lot. And when my husband is at home, I have to park it or when I'm using the car. And there have been multiple nights where I get home and I have to back in this giant truck in this little crevice of a driveway, and I'm so scared I'm gonna A, mess up my car, and B, hit the house. So I've called Andrew in a panic and he has zipped right over and he still makes me back it up. He doesn't take it over, but he just talks me through. And I like last night it happened and I just laid in bed thinking I am so happy Emily and Andrew live down the road because it meant a lot.
2 minutes.
So shout out to Andrew. You won't ever listen to this, but you're a good brother-in-law. Good brother-in-law. Well, I will watch Nellie. We can just decide now. Just tell me when and where.
I'll keep you updated. Like I need one more job, but I'll keep you updated on the Pilates instructor journey. I've actually I don't know, what if they go back and listen to this? I've never taken a Pilates class, like a reformers Pilates. I've done.
Is that what it is reformers?
Yes.
You could do it though. Just go in acting like you know what you're doing, and
so we'll see. But well,
speaking of athletes, Pilates athletes. Let's talk about our Olympians. The Olympics. I feel like we should.
Olympics.
Is there a way for us to play the Olympic theme song?
I know. You've been watching a lot of Olympics. I have been watching some, but not enough. I feel this way often with the Olympics. I start to get panic. Like I haven't watched it enough. Yesterday, luckily, we watched, so that filled my cup a little bit. But I really don't love when it is in a different time zone. Because now with social media,
things get
spoiled. Exactly. Like it used to be that we got home from school and the whole family would sit down because you wanted to see what happened. But now we already know what happened because it popped up on our phone during the workday.
If you watch it at the right times, you can watch it live, but you can't watch everything live. And
it's usually when Andrew's at work, so we're not doing it together.
It's all about us. Like the Italians and Europeans gonna watch it live. I'm teasing. No, but it does make it tricky. And when you do see something spoiled, like
and it's not that
Ilya, the quad god or whatever his name is, I didn't watch it live. I saw it from an Instagram that he had fallen 3 times,
right?
And I'm like, well, no, I don't really need to watch it because.
And it's not that it's in a different time zone that they've ruined it. It's social media, social media of it all that's ruined it. But I thought it'd be fun to talk about.
Sorry,
is there anything you want to say
really
about
quick? I apologize to everyone that I'm just a hunched back. If you could
I am too.
If you could see how I'm straddling the table right now on this weird chair, you would feel sorry for me. But
if we ever make a penny from this podcast, the first thing it's going to is new mics, the ones that hang down and that we can plug into a converter so that we can all be in the same room and yada, yada, yada.
When we're rich and famous. But for now, we
got to make the money back of these mics.
Please give us a review so we can pay for our mics.
Do you have anything more to say about the current Olympics?
No, yeah, I've been watching it. It just feels wholesome. It feels cozy. I was talking to Easton and he loves the Summer Olympics and those are so fun too. There's things that I love about the Summer Olympics, gymnastics, even the track and field can be exciting and you love the summer. But I do think Winter Olympics for me is so much more nostalgic. It feels closer to home. I was like 4 years old when the Winter Olympics came here to Salt Lake City. which we'll talk about. But just the way my parents talk about it, my grandparents talk about it, Utah University's football stadium still has the Olympic torch out in front of it. So every time we'd go to Utah game, we would be reminded, oh, that's where they lit the torch for the Olympics. Like, it just is a huge part of, I think, our growing up, even though we were really little for it. But
Yeah, I prefer the winter to summer as well.
Yeah.
And there's not as many events, and so it doesn't feel like we are doing.
We're not
I don't
watching
know, some of
swimming
those-
for 12 hours.
And well, summer has some. I'm not trying to
You don't like the
yuck
break
anyone's
dancing?
yums.
Emily hates the breakdancing. Well, I'm glad to tell you
No.
they canceled that one. That one's not coming back.
It's more like little sports that I've never heard of that are so obscure with like a ball that I don't know the rules, and I don't know.
What? Okay, whatever. Speaking of absurd sports, let me tell you my new favorite sport. I am the newest fan of curling. I heard you can curl. I heard up in Ogden, which is northern Utah, there's a curling place you can go.
That'd be fun.
Oh, I'm the moment Easton says yes, we're going. I was at my in-laws this past week and curling was on, and I finally was like, I can't keep hearing about this sport and not understand it. And so I learned the rules. I did a quick little chat GPT. How does this all work? It is the most, once you understand it, you can't stop watching it. And you want to tell everyone about it. I'm like telling my dad, and my dad's like, yeah, that's great. I'm like, no, it's got to get, the stone gets in the middle of the button, and then then I just go off. So I've loved curling, keeping my eyes on that. I know there's some versus the Swedes drama going on.
Shout out to Annie. We told her Sweden was in the news.
Sweden's a big deal right now. But that's been fun to watch and kind of learn, because I've seen it and now I understand it, and it's a lot more fun to watch. Love figure skating. I watched the Glitter and Gold documentary on Netflix, which is a great little documentary about the ice dancing of
Do you think it's still fun to watch? I didn't watch it before the Olympics.
Yes, so it would still totally be fun to watch, because it just goes back this entire all of 2025 leading up to the Olympics, and then you find out how it goes. So it's kind of like you probably are going to feel bad for Maddie Chalk and Evan Bates the whole time being like, well, you're not going to get the gold. But you kind of learn more about the French. So it's really fun. And then I love the two, I can't remember their names, Piper, I believe is her first or last name, from Canada, the ice dancer duo. She has a beautiful and amazing story about her mom. And so then watching her programs, look at me use the correct terms, is a lot more interesting. So I would totally still check out Glitter and Gold. It'd be a fun watch to
get us through the winter.
Yes,
Since
or
it's
just like,
finally
well,
snowing.
You're folding laundry. But that's kind of all I've been thinking about with the current Olympics. I like to watch it. I'm excited to see what else they have for the next couple of days before it's over.
I know, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about. I know not all of our listeners are local to Utah, but if you are, this will be an especially fun episode to feel a little bit of nostalgia, but also it would be fun to learn about for anyone, because the Salt Lake City Olympics that happened in 2002 changed completely the way that figure skating is run now and judged, and completely transformed the figure skating aspect of the Olympics. And we have a few, of course, sister stories, if we can call them. What Winter Olympic event did you get to go to, Abby? Keep in mind, I was in kindergarten, so she was 3.5.
I was a lucky gal. I remember this, and it might be, I remember it because I had a dream one night, and I think that was actually.
No, I remember. This is what happened.
I was lucky enough to go with my mom to the figure skating event as a 3.5, almost 4-year-old. And I got to see the Michelle Kwan. And let me tell you, when I saw Michelle Kwan in the Arthur episode, Arthur the Aardvark, they like bring in like Yo-Yo Ma, and then Michelle Kwan. This might be too niche for kids that didn't grow up with Nickelodeon. We just were PBS kids.
Yeah.
I got to go with my mom to Michelle Kwan, and I'm sure Emily was sad.
I was
but
so
as
jealous.
a true oldest child, she said, I will go with father too. Where'd you go?
Skiing of some sort. I can't remember exactly what ski event it was, if I'm being completely honest, but I think they thought because I had been skiing before, I was a little skier, so I'd want to go to skiing. And
I
just
hated skiing growing up, so they would
that
send me.
is true.
They sent me to ski school, and I would cry the whole time. So
I forgot
sorry
about that.
No, it's
And
okay.
so I was just a little jealous, but it's okay. I remember also there was a fun bobsled track that was downtown. They kind of set up, and there was just a lot of hustle and bustle. In fact, all of the elementary schools put on Light the Fire Within. It was an album for the
Olympic Games.
Yeah, for the Olympic Games. And we did a performance at the high school.
I might just start skiing down the hill that I see outside my window right now. No, the Olympics are so fun, and it is fun to watch people achieve really the greatest accomplishment of their life in their sport.
Do you recognize these? Wait, really, one more thing.
You can't really see them. But yes, this is what I want to talk about, the mascots. So they did these 3 little mascots. I don't remember their name.
It was Coal, Powder, and
probably like Copper.
Copper, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Did you know about Otto?
Who is Otto?
I don't remember Otto, but Otto's really cute. Otto did not get enough screen time. I'm just saying.
He was one of the mascots
for the Paralympics, so it was a little otter that was like laying down. He was so cute, and I'm just
dang it.
I'm mad they didn't show Otto more.
Much. Our sister Lizzie, she was 1, maybe
not even like 3 or 4 months old,
really small. And so Emily and I got the cute little berets. If you're from Utah and you were little at the time of the 2002 Olympics, your parents probably snagged a little beret, and it says like USA Olympics. It's what the Olympians wore while I think part of the US team, as part of one of their outfits. Anyways, I'm pretty sure Lizzie was the one that they gave it to, but she couldn't wear it for a few winters. Maybe we all got it.
I think it was yours, actually. The sweatshirt?
No, the bunny beanie. Anyways, this story's getting way too long and not that funny, but we had the bunny mascot that Emily just showed you as an entire beanie. And
what
it was like
happened
the
to
ears
that?
came down on your back. It was huge. That thing, if you look at all of our sledding pictures and when our parents took us skiing, there will be a cowgirl wearing the bunny beanie, the bunny hat, the bunny costume, to be honest, because that is how elaborate. It had whiskers. It was actually really cute, and I don't know where it is.
I don't know where it is either.
Probably at the DI and found a new home.
Yeah, Mom did hold on to your sweatshirt. It's like a quarter zip, and that's still, I need to pass it on to you because Nellie wore that all the time.
Really
She's finally grown out of it. But I think it's important to note that one reason that I don't think the 2002 Olympics will ever be recreated is it actually happened just a few months after 9/11. And so the country as a whole was very unified. And I think that made it really special cheering for Team USA. And one other thing before we get into kind of the scandal of it all is something fun that Mom did with the Olympics, and we still try to do it to this day. We missed this year, but during the opening ceremony, we would have a themed dinner for wherever the Olympics were that year. So we would make Greek food or Chinese food, or
when they were in Brazil, my mom did a whole Brazilian dinner, and we did Chinese food one year, I remember. And I think Emily spoke on this, but our mom is not a Pinterest mom. Like, our mom's not going to have the matching plates or feel the pressure to get the balloon arch or have, like, the matching goodie bag. Like,
no, we don't have a single photo of it. We don't.
No, but my mom, and we talk about her all the time, so we just love her. She's so good at just making the memory and not worrying about the way it looks, because that really doesn't matter. Because the year we did, it was in Beijing, we did Chinese food and we ate it on the ground in front of our TV, and we just had Chinese food while we watched the opening ceremonies. And
I'm sure there's years we missed, but we've tried to do it, and it's pretty fun.
So
So try that with your families.
do you want to talk about, I don't know much about the scandal, so I'm really excited to hear how Salt Lake changed figure skating forever.
Did you watch the docuseries called Bad Sport on Netflix? Episode 4 of Bad Sport highlighted this story, and basically what happened, the figure skating scandal, it happened with the pairs figure skating. Abby and I did some researching yesterday. There's ice dancing and there's pairs figure skating, and they're a little bit different. You can do more tricks and lifts and things in figure skating, whereas ice dancing is more about rhythm and dancing on the ice. Yeah. So I haven't seen the Netflix documentary, but it apparently explains this well. But it was Team Russia versus Team Canada. They were the top contenders, and most viewers, even the experts, believed that Canada had clearly won the gold medal. But when they went to award the points and the scores, Russia was awarded the gold medal. And like immediately, the crowd booed, the media was outraged, everybody was talking about it because it was so shocking. And later, a French judge admitted to being pressured to vote for the Russians. It was alleged that the French Skating Federation had made a deal with the Russians and that they would support each other in the pairs figure skating. And Russia would support France in an ice dance, I think. And so they did a big investigation, and the Olympic Committee did something that had never been done. They ended up awarding a second gold medal to the Canadian pair. So
Everyone
both teams
wins.
Yeah, I know, right? That was where it started. That's what started it all. But they also got a gold medal. They didn't take Russia's away. But basically, this scandal exposed like a bunch of corruption in the figure skating judging, and it really damaged public trust in the sport because they felt like it was too subjective and not objective. And it forced a total overhaul of the judging system. So after 2002, that's where they replaced this old scoring system. And you know how it pops up like base score? And we were like, what are those base scores? Those are new since 2002. And it was all meant to reduce this bias or subjectivity. I learned that the Canadian figure skating pair later got married and then divorced, and they were pretty big Canadian public figures, especially at the time. So I thought that maybe they would be still public figures in Canada. So I looked them up on Instagram. I'm sad to say they are not exactly the public figures I expected. In fact, the girl,
No.
I'm not even going to say her whole Instagram bio, but I need you to go look up Jamie Sale, Sale. It says world and Olympic gold medalist. This is her Instagram bio. Fierce mama bear, sovereign proud member of the fringe minority with an exclamation mark. And then I'm not even going to say the next line because it is, I don't
Not
know, rude.
appropriate.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Not nice. But she is like, she wants Alberta, Canada, where actually Andrew's from, that section of Canada, to secede from Canada and be a part of the US because she loves President Trump so much.
You know
Yeah,
what?
she's she's like a total, I'm trying to be kind with my words, but a certain age group that just like reposts any meme that comes across their desk.
She's just doing her own thing. She's riding a wave of a wave she's really passionate about.
Yeah, exactly. So she's taken more of a political career than I would have really leaned into that figure skating.
Me too.
If I were her, but she was she was the world's favorite.
Wow.
But anyway.
Crazy. I was wondering as we were watching figure skating I thought it was so interesting that the scores were coming in as the program was still happening. And then now I know why.
Yeah. And I still didn't dive into exactly how all of the scoring works.
Yeah.
But I know that and because it's honestly complicated, and it is complicated because they have done that because of the 2002 Lake City Olympics. So
well, we'll see. There's still currently a French judge for figure skating. Ice dancing is under some heat because of some bias people feel like that judge had towards the French who took gold this current Olympics. So French and dancing, the ice dancing.
They're not doing us any favors, because that's why sometimes I've heard a few people say, men, boys say, dancing's not a sport. Figure skating's not a
My gosh. If you watch this, they can't tell me it's not a sport. These men are lifting a woman in the air while
with knives on their feet.
Yes, with knives on their feet. I heard the announcer yesterday say they go 15 miles per hour at some point. They're going quick. This isn't just a little gallop down the ice. It's really crazy.
Yes, well, you might have a judge that's a little bit biased or subjective. Don't you have refs in sports that make calls that are...
We need someone out there with a whistle. That's what we need.
But I can't stand when men say that sports like this aren't a sport because they have judges. It's like, well, isn't a ref a judge?
Yeah.
But anyway, well, is there any other... I saw a meme about the Olympics. Is there anything from the 2002 Olympics that I missed? Any lore?
No, I don't think so.
I did learn so that they're coming in 2034, and it'll be super fun. So that will be maybe any chance we're still doing the podcast in 8 years.
That's the goal.
Stay tuned.
If you give us a review, we'll be here till 2034.
We really could be.
Okay, well, you said we just got to get through 1 year. You're giving me anxiety.
But something that's cool about having the Olympics in Salt Lake is all the venues are within a 1-hour drive of Salt Lake City. And that was on the 2034 page. So they're going to continue that for 2034. So it's a little more centralized, because I think when the Summer Olympics come to LA, you said there's going to be events in Oklahoma, which is like
which is crazy. Yeah, they're going to have like kayaking in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma has this man-made water rafting course in OKC, which is random. And then I also believe they're doing softball. Don't quote me on that one. They have a softball venue in OKC. They host the NCAA World Series women's softball, whatever tournament every single year. And so they have a really, really beautiful, nice facility. And I feel like I heard of talks of that. So we'll see. But I could be going to the kayak Olympics, baby. Let's go.
I mean, in 2034, I will have an almost 12-year-old. So I think I'm going to be prime time for my kids to live out my childhood.
You know, Emmy's going to be purchasing all the Olympic merch. She is going to be.
I don't know. The logo is not my favorite. So.
That's true. They need to add more of a classy look to it, but that's whatever.
Anyway.
One thing we did talk about yesterday, as we were watching figure skating with our sisters, the next event after was ski jumping. Is that what's called?
And not like the flips.
No.
Yeah, it's like the long jump. Like the
what
squirrel flying through the air.
Yeah, it's like what you used to do on the Wii Fit. You remember the Wii Fit? And you'd like bend your knees and it'd pop up. Woo! And it's just kind of a big thrust to the sky. And our sister Lizzie said, "Oh, that just gives me the ick." And so then we started talking about what Olympic sports give you the ick. And we know.
Never the woman. It's just if your man did that, would it give you the ick?
Would it give you the ick? We know. If someone took me to the top of that little ramp and said, "Abby, I will give you $25 million if you could do this," I would say no way. And then even if I had to do it, I would fall straight on my face and then I would be broken in every inch of my body. Like, it takes their entire abs, like they have to be, these people are ripped. Like, that's what I'm saying, is this is a tricky thing to do. So we're not making fun of the athlete. We're just giggling at the way it is performed. That makes sense. Yeah, yes, so I was trying to think of it. They get it. I know we don't have to explain.
The listeners here get it.
So that one was a little icky to me. There was one more. I mean, if you watch curling long enough, you start to be like, this is a little
The only part that gets me is when they're...
Yeah, that's a little weird. A little icky. And then when they're yelling, "Carl, Carl, Carl," it's a little much for me. There was one more, though. Guess I don't remember it.
You had a cool fact about curling, I think, from the Sportish Instagram, which is I love that account.
Yeah,
Sportish.
The Sportish Instagram is amazing. I love it. If you don't follow it, it just gives you sports facts, but I'm pretty sure the people that run the account are women, and it's all artsy cutesy. And it also focuses a lot on women's sports and highlighting women. And Corey Theus, I can't remember her last name. She was on the co-ed curling team, and she's also on the all-woman curling team currently. She's the first woman ever to win an Olympic medal for curling for the United States, which is really cool. Canada usually dominates in curling, so it's cool that the US showed some representation. Another cool thing for my friends in South America, because I love the people of South America, a man from Brazil in giant slalom skiing, like they use it's different than just slalom skiing. I don't even know. A skiing event just took home the first medal ever for South America. Like a South American has never received a medal at the Winter Olympics ever. And he took home the gold for his home country of Brazil, which is pretty cool.
That's
Kind
cool.
of crazy, huh?
Did you see the Taylor Swift Blades of Angel introduction, the American Showgirls?
No. Okay, I'll go watch it.
Okay, that's everybody's homework. I mean, it's just her voice in the background, and she narrates the introduction to the Blade Angels, and it's America's three, they're figure skaters. But yeah,
Okay, I'll go check it out.
There's a Taylor Olympics crossover, and
Fun.
that is your homework. We do have a listener question. Wait, there's one more thing about the 2034 Olympics.
Oh yeah, is it my thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just me manifesting. So if it actually happens, and the 10 of you that listen to this are listening to this portion of the podcast, you can in 2034 look up at the sky when this happens and say,
or
happy-
we will recap how it goes with our 100,000
Emily
listeners.
said we're doing it for 1 year. My husband flies planes for the U.S. Air Force, and the U.S. Air Force love our country. Anyways, he hasn't been assigned his plane, and that's a whole other story. He is currently an instructor teaching people how to fly planes. But when he does get an assignment, our hope and dream is that he gets assigned the F-35. And by then, we'll be a few years away from the Salt Lake Olympics in 2034. And so we're hoping he, as an F-35 pilot, will then come back to Utah, be at Hill Air Force Base, which that's where they have a group of F-35s. And then from there, I'm making this really long, he will be asked to do a flyover for the Olympics in the F-35. And if that happens, so he come across and everyone cheers and the fireworks go off. And if that happens, I think my husband's life would be made. So we're going to just manifest that.
Yeah, we got to
throw that out there. We're just going to keep talking about it. And then in 2035, when he does that flyover in an F-35, I will be the coolest wife in all of the world. So, yeah, what's the question?
I've got a question, but I didn't prep you for it, and it's kind of a deep one. And so I think I'm just going to preface this by we don't have to deep dive this.
Okay.
But maybe the first thing that comes to your mind,
surface level. Here we go.
Yeah. And I'm
okay, just say it. I'm getting nervous.
You're going to laugh, but I don't want to make the listener feel bad because it's something we both struggle with. So that's why I'm saying we're not the best people
we shouldn't
to
be giving advice, but we're going to give advice. All right.
How do you cope with anxiety and fear about the future? See, I told you we would laugh because it's almost comical because we both deal with anxiety and fear about the future.
Yeah, I'm not laughing because it's a silly question. I'm laughing because this is probably in the top 3 questions that I have to run through my brain every single day because it's something that I think about a lot.
Yeah, me too. And so I think though we just say something that helps us. It's not going to be the end all be all answer.
No.
We're not experts at this, but what is something that helps? And something that helps for me with anxiety and fear about the future, a little tactic is something I imagine in my mind when I'm having intrusive thoughts is I imagine these intrusive thoughts or this anxiety about whatever it is. I imagine it as like a solicitor or a salesperson coming to my door and they are knocking on my door, and there's nothing wrong with just ignoring the knock at the door, and you don't even have to let them come in. And it's easier said than done, and it takes practice. But just when I start to have those thoughts, I literally run through this scenario in my brain where I talk to myself and say, they're knocking at the door, but I'm choosing not to let them into my home right now. And eventually they dissipate, hopefully. Sometimes they don't, and that's where you have to move on to the next tactic. For little things, I remember there has been times in my car driving, I remember this happening as a teenager, where I started to envision, this is dark, and I don't know if anyone can relate, but I start to envision my parents' funeral, or I start to envision, I'm a teenager, I'm 17 years old, and I'm starting to think about what is it going to feel like when I have a miscarriage. I've never had one, but as a 17-year-old, I was scared about that, and so much so that then I start bawling because it feels almost real. So I'm talking about those things where you don't know what is going to happen. There's no need to worry about something that hasn't happened yet, because then you're just worrying about it twice, because you're feeling the emotions before it happens, and then when it inevitably happens, you feel it all again. So I try and also remind myself, do I want to go through these feelings twice, or do I want to wait until that bad thing happens and feel it once?
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing. I start to get so anxious about something that I'm physically ill, and I'm feeling that feeling twice. And so having the mental talk, and I physically, I talk to myself out loud a lot of the time. Like, Abby, you aren't going to let this be a thing right now, or you are going to open the door, accept it, say, hi, crazy intrusive thought. How are you? You just made yourself known, and now I am closing the door. And once again, all said, it is much easier to say than it is to actually act. Another thing that I've done is finding people you can just talk it not out with, but just say, this is my thought right now. It's really controlling. It's making things hard. I'm just going to say it. And then you say it. The person's hopefully someone that you trust, love, and they'll just give you a hug, let you know, valid thought, but it's okay. You don't have to let this control your life right now. Another thing I've done is writing it down in a journal. That's been really helpful.
And we're able to do these little things because I won't speak for you, but I have seen a therapist. I have tried medication. So there's times of your life that a medication or in-person therapy is the only answer.
Yes,
but
yes, yes.
I also want to give you hope. You don't have to do that forever.
There's been times when I've been on anxiety medicine, and I don't say now oh, I'm off of it because I overcame it. No, it's not the case. It was in a time in my life where I mentally just could not handle these small and simple things we're saying, because it just was too daunting for me. And so I needed to search for some more help than just what I was capable of. And that's totally, totally okay. I think the last thing that has helped me a lot with anxiety, and it is not a fix-all answer, but it's through meditation, prayer, whatever that looks like for you, that has been really helpful to me to just find a quiet place. Just this past week, I was pretty anxious about some things, and so I went on a walk with my daughter because I can't leave her at home. You can't just say goodbye to all your responsibilities. And I chose not to plug my AirPods in, and I just it's a really scary thing, but let my mind just be open. And sometimes those intrusive thoughts came, but then I was mentally working on letting them leave too. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, I just doom scroll until I forget my deep, dark thoughts. But I think there's it's kind of trial and error. And then if you really do feel like you need a little more extra guidance and help, then there are really good options. But I also know those get expensive and they get time consuming, and it's not an easy thing to start at all. So hopefully we said something between writing something down, the analogy of an open door, closing it, or never opening. Those are all really good ways to start. And also know that you're not crazy. Anyone that says they don't get anxious about the future is a big fat liar. That is bull crap. And the moment I realized everyone deals with some sort of, and some people we deal with it worse, but it's part of being a human, and it's just a really hard part of being a human. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm
that.
sorry.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Call me. You personally can call me. My phone number is beep, 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 beep.
FaceTime us, message me, and we could FaceTime for hours. Find someone you can just...
I will listen to all your problems. I love it, because then I'll probably tell you my problems.
Well, no, that was really helpful, and it was a fun episode.
Yes. Happy
And-
Olympics. Go watch some Olympics. Get cozy. If it's cold where you are, bundle up, drink hot cocoa. If it's hot, I'm jealous. And
we'll talk
that's
to you
it.
later.
Okay. Bye.
Love you. Bye.